Let's start off with the Titans and the Dolphins. Eesh. Titans, a game we talked about a little bit earlier, probably the right side today, although they didn't cash tickets against the Colts. And now, Will Levis, I'll be curious your read on him. I like what I've seen out of him.
He needs a little more talent around him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough.
He's got Derrick Henry, and that's about it.
And Derrick Henry, by the way, left the game early today.
That's not good. And, you got Hopkins. We don't know what incarnation of his career he is in right now. This number against the Fish, opened 11.5, went up to 12.5. I was on the over today in D.C. That was never a sweat. Look at this total. Opens 44, Wes, and immediately jumps up a field goal.
Yeah, you look at what Miami did. They scored 45. One of them was a very late touchdown. The
backups in.
Yeah, 406 yards, 6.9 a play.
Oof.
Just dominant today. And that's what Miami is doing. They beat up the bad teams. They beat up the Commanders. They beat up the Giants. They beat up the Carolina Panthers. So now you get another team. So in terms of what I'm thinking on this game, I don't think that a lot of bettors are going to rush to bet. The betting public are going to rush to bet Tennessee at all.
No.
Well, Miami, like I said, they've been the bully this year. So how high is this number going to go before you get some wise guys, you get some Sharpies that come in and say, okay, I'll take a shot at the dog. Clearly, it's not at 13.
No.
So maybe at 14, you get,
But it's going to get there.
Because you always get the risk of a Miami flat performance. Because now Miami, I think they are the current, not the outright leader, not having the best record, but they would be number one in the AFC right now. Right. They would be the number one seed. So I think that's the first time this season that they've had that. And
that's why these teams are not, like some people go, it could be a sleepy game like they had a couple weeks ago against the Raiders. Not at this time. Everybody knows how important these games are.
Well, now you got Miami, by the way, playing 3 in a row at home, and they get 4 of their last 5 down there in Dade County.
Yep.
So you get Tennessee, then you get the Jets, then you get the Dallas Cowboys on Christmas Eve.
Huge.
You go to Baltimore on New Year's Eve, and then you get Buffalo and what was a rematch from that beatdown they got earlier in the season, 48-20. Miami is in a similar boat to Dallas, where it's like, they're a good team, and they got talent, but they haven't really beaten anybody good.
It's ironic that you say that, because they have the identical record that the Cowboys have, and I've heard them refer to each other as the Dolphins are the Cowboys of the AFC, and the Cowboys.
They are. Look at who Miami's beaten. They beat the Chargers. They beat New England. They beat Denver. They beat the Giants. They beat Carolina. They beat New England again. The Raiders, the Jets, the Commanders. That's why it's so hard I think, to buy in on Miami when they play a good team. Now, they can take care of business against the Dregs here, but Miami's just not a team I've liked to lay it with. Like, I didn't even think about laying it today, even though I felt that they were right, and I feel the Commanders are a dead team.
Yeah.
Commanders, by the way, one of the 2 teams on a bye next week, Week 14, them and the Arizona Cardinals.
Speaking of dead teams.
But I just think, I could only get involved at 14 here or more on Tennessee, and even then, that's a stretch.
And so if you are backing the Fish, our advice would be you better get it now if you really like them.
Yeah.
Because this number is going to go the wrong way for you.
Yeah, because I think eventually you'll get the buyback at 14, but betting public doesn't want to bet against the bully like Miami.
They do not. And again, they have a good record against those bullies. The only time against the Raiders, they didn't cover that. They didn't end up covering that number.
No, they did not. Right. 20-13,
Yep.
Sloppy game, but every other game, it's felt like they've just smacked these teams around.
Yep.
The Jets.
Especially at home.
New England, Carolina,
Yep.
the Giants. Same story. Same song, different verse.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.